Hello, my name is David Webb and this is a video for Dweebovision. I am a Scrabble grandmaster and in this video I am going to play Scrabble while providing in-game commentary on my moves. Hopefully this will help to improve your game and be fun to watch. The game has just started, so let's join the action. It's my opponent to go first, and I have the J, but I have only one vowel. And I have a duplicate N, so it's not a great rack at all. If my opponent plays an O, I'll have John, which would leave EGNR, which given this rack isn't too bad of a leave. Great, well my opponent does play an O, but if I play John, it won't quite reach the double word square. So maybe there's a better move. I notice that JA is a move, is a good word, but I don't think I've got anything which plays parallel to Zoea to take advantage of the J on the double letter square both ways. I can't see anything with the J and the Z. So is there anything else with the O apart from John? Well, there's Jong, but that also doesn't reach the double word square. There's Re-John. That's actually not too bad because it reaches the double word square and it splits up the duplicate N. It only scores 24 points. But the rack leave isn't terrible. If I draw an I will have the ing ending. I can't see anything better than that. Great, I draw the blank. But do I have a bingo? I've only got one vowel, but there are several floating vowels on the board, so I don't necessarily have to only consider the blank as a vowel. Let's consider an ing ending. The other letters would be HORR. Okay, my opponent has taken out all of the floating vowels. So my first thought is to run through the vowels for the blank to see if I have a 7. I can't see anything with the A, or the E, or the I, or the O, or the U. So what else can I consider? Okay, I don't think I do have a bingo that can play on this board. I don't think I've got a move coming down from the Z onto the double word square. So I'm looking to try and score and leave a balanced rack. YAH is a word, but I don't think I can take advantage of that and use one of the R's. And nor can I put the H on the triple letter square at F6 and score it both ways. Well, I could play hog or hong across here, and that scores 19 points, which isn't great at all. But is there anything better? I don't like keeping the duplicate R. But if you're going to have a duplicate, it's one of the better ones to have. Well, what about R8Joe? That scores 21 points. It's more defensive, it doesn't provide as many scoring opportunities for my opponent. It resolves the duplicate R, it scores more points. On the downside it keeps the G, but I have the N and I have a blank, so I think overall this is a better move. Right, and that initially looks quite good. But do I actually have something? I don't have an ing 7-letter word. And the V is usually quite problematic. So it's not looking such a great rack. I'm just mentally running through the possibilities for the blank in alphabetical order. Nothing is leaping out at me. I'm up to N. Oh, that's good. Lots of floaters. But do I have a bingo? I'm just going to finish going through the alphabet for looking for 7s. And I can't see anything. Right, so do I have an ing word? I don't, using the I of puniest because it's one square too high. So if I used the blank as an I, I'd have AORV. Well, I have savouring through the S of puniest. Great, it's always a relief to have a bingo. Now I can look for a better one. Ideally, I would have a bingo through the T of puniest. And the T looks like it goes well with this rack. Graviton. Ah, not quite. That's just one square away. That would have been really nice. Well, I have graviton through the I of puniest. And that scores better than savouring. So graviton is my new benchmark play. I'm still looking for something through the T. Over is a prefix and a suffix. Let's get graviton down. Graviton. Well, that's certainly good. Yeah, I can't see anything better. And that's not a great pickup at all. But it's not a terrible pickup. I have high scoring tiles, so I ought to be able to score well and leave a decent rack leave. I notice that the Z is still available for plays onto the double word square at L4. But I don't think I have any such plays with this rack. I also can't see anything particularly great through the G of graviton or the T of puniest. So I'm going to have to look elsewhere. BAGH is a word, and that would leave quite a nice rack leave. Sealed. Gosh. I think that's good. Do I challenge? I know that sealing is good, spelled IE. I think I will challenge. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Right. So does that present any new opportunities for me? There's a lot of triple word squares open on this board. Well, there's batch. Batch. There's also patch. I think the B actually goes better with the G than the P does. It's a shame patch bag isn't good, but I am sure it's not. So patch scores 36 points. That's a good score and a reasonable leave. Do I need to look for anything better? I don't think I'm going to find anything significantly better. And that's good. I have beglamor through the E of sealed. And it's likely to stay open, I think, because I would hope that my opponent would be drawn to the remaining triple word squares. So hopefully he won't inadvertently block my bingo. But he may do. This is one of those racks where there's going to be a big difference between the score available from a bingo and the score available from the next best move. Great, it's not blocked. I'm 50 points behind, but this should take me into the lead. Or will take me into the lead, rather. Beglamor for 80 points. Just quickly checking that there are no other E's on the board which I could have used. And there isn't. Right, well this isn't a bingo-y rack, but again I should be able to score reasonably well. I note that yowie is a word, Y-O-W-I-E. I expect my opponent is likely to play up the top on one of the triple word squares. I'm not sure I have anything to play there if my opponent leaves it open. I do have yowie in column 13, parallel to the O of graviton. But is there somewhere better? Dewey's a word, but that would leave me with 3 vowels, so yowie is certainly superior to Dewey from the perspective of the leave. I notice that I can play yowie to the left of graviton as well as to the right, and if I play it to the left I will reach the double word square. So that would probably be a better place. Yowie does take an S. My opponent may be unsure of that, I don't know. Zowie is a similar word which doesn't take an S. Great, my opponent doesn't block the spot to the left of graviton. Let's see what that scores. The I next to the triple letter square could be dangerous if my opponent has a high scoring tile like the X, but you can't avoid those risks. 29 points, that's a decent score with this rack. I could play demi at A8 for 39 points, and demi would leave EIOW. That is not a good leave. And even though I'm sacrificing 10 points, most of that deficit is compensated for by the superior leave. And I don't want to be struggling with another vowel heavy rack. But can I play Yowie or another word elsewhere? Not that I can see. Great, I draw the X. Unfortunately, I can't play it both ways on the triple letter square at J10. But I should be able to score well. Oh well, my opponent takes that spot with the Q for 65 points. And he is now in a 23-point lead. So, what can I do? The Z remains open, but I do want to play my X right away. I've got X here for 40 points, that's not a bad score. It would be nice to play off the F as well in a move like flex or flicks. I noticed that flixed is good, but I'm not sure there's anywhere to play that and score well. This is a bit of a consonant heavy leave. I could play fix to the left of the A of cat for 30 points, but that opens up the triple word square at 08. And I'm sacrificing 10 points. Gosh, there are 3 S's left which can go onto the end of cat. The F is not a good tile and I don't like keeping 4 consonants. And one advantage of fix is that it takes a T after it but not an S, and I have a T. So, what do I do? It's not such a problem opening up the triple word square at 08 because the triple word square at A8 is still available. And this is a better leave than that which I would have after playing EX. I'm running a little short on time. I've got under 7 minutes. I suspect this isn't close, that either fix or X is definitely better. But I think I will go with fix. Right, I draw an S, which is good, but I have a duplicate D, which isn't. If it's left open, I have dealt at L8, but I'm not sure I can use the M at A8. I certainly need to resolve the duplicate D, and I can't take advantage of the Z which has remained open. Score's very close, there's only 6 points in it at the moment. But my opponent has the impetus in that it's him or her to play next. And I'm going to struggle to score well with this rack if I am not able to play dealt. I'm intrigued to know whether X was significantly better than fix. Yeah, that's the problem. That was the real problem with fix, giving my opponent the opportunity to score well like that. Oh well, what's done is done. So I'm now nearly 50 points behind. What can I do, or what should I do with this rack? I need to keep bingo lanes open. And I need to play off some of my consonants. I'm not too worried about playing off my E because there are 5 in the bag. Well, let's see what this looks like. I don't like keeping the L and the N. That's not too bad a leave. The only downside is that it does take out the bingo lane in column 14. But I can't see anything better. Oh, great. Well, I've got all 3 S's, which isn't good. 1 is great, 2, the second one is neutral, and the third one is bad. And there are no floating vowels on the board. My opponent's played just 2 vowels, so maybe he has a surfeit of them. So, what should I do? I'm 40 points behind, and there are 11 tiles in the bag. Gosh, not easy at all. I think I'm being punished for playing fix rather than X. Gosh, this just isn't a good board for S's, which is quite unusual. I can get 18 points just by pluralising yowies. Because I'm behind, I'd quite like to slow down the end of the game. Let's see if I draw an E. No, I don't. But I'm only 24 points behind. And I've drawn the K, which is a scoring tile. So I don't need a bingo to catch my opponent. Although obviously one would be nice. Zinks is not good. Z-I-N-K-S, although it is with an E, so Z-I-N-K-E-S is good. So that spot remains open. I'm looking around to see if there's anywhere that I can play my K to good effect. And I can't see anywhere, which is quite unusual because it's usually quite a good letter to have. So I've got 3.5 minutes left, and there are 10 tiles in my bag, and 7 on my opponent's rack. This board is really offering very few opportunities. Wifey. Okay, my opponent plays off 3 vowels, so maybe he is experiencing a surfeit of vowels. Okay, I can play the K up here. I could play kid, or I could play K-I-S. kid scores more, and I don't like keeping the D and the S because they compete with each other as letters which feature in suffixes, either the ED ending or the S plural. It would be nice to play the K, the D and the S, but I can't see a way of doing that, and I am running a little short on time. If I drew 2 E's, I would have pentises at A1. I draw no E's, and I draw the V, so although I'm only 20 points behind, my prospects are bleak. And I'm just wondering if maybe I should have played discs above the E of wifey last move. Anyway, now is not the time to contemplate alternative moves on earlier plays. I need to focus on my existing rack. There are only 4 tiles left. My opponent takes all of them. So I'm 50 points behind. I would need a bingo to win, and there isn't one. So I need to minimise my losing score. My opponent has 4 E's, a T and a U, so he's not going out in one move, so I can plan a 2 move out. So let's see what this looks like. Vince for 16 leaves ILS. Can I play those letters in 2 places? I'm not sure I can play them in even 1 place. I must be able to. Well, there's legs through the G of zoning. And there's Siler at E1. Okay, so I can definitely go out in 2. Is there anything significantly better than Vince that is available? Nothing is jumping out at me. Okay, so I'm going to play legs if that remains available. But is there something better than Siler? Just scanning the board to see if anything occurs to me. Well, I can't see anything. I can't see any other outplays. I'm sure there probably are. LIS is a word, but that doesn't seem to go anywhere. Ah, zonings and LIS. Yes, zoning does take an S. Right, oh well, that would be quite nice. It's not going to be a winning play, but it'll be a nice play. 23 points. My opponent may try to block that by playing Euge, E-U-G-E at M2 for 10 points. Let's see what he does. He's got just under 10 minutes. Great, he doesn't block that. His play doesn't open up any opportunities for moves better than LIS. So I think that's the best move available. Let's see if he challenges or accepts the play. Yep, he challenged it. The move was good, and I lose by 11 points. I did challenge one of my opponent's plays, but that didn't affect the result of the game. I would have simply lost by slightly fewer points. Well, that was an interesting game. I got to play a couple of bingos, but I think the real turning point was the fix play. Fix or EX at B1, that was the choice I had. There may well have been a third play which was better than either of them. I'll only know by running the game through analysis software, and Quackle is the best such software available. So I will do that. I hope you enjoyed watching the game. My name is David Webb, and this has been a video for Dweebovision.